I was raped, I went to the police station to report the case and went to the hospital, did a test, was confirmed that I was raped, then went to court and followed due process. If he does not follow that due process, it is still an allegation.
Some people have used go to court as a way to sneak away from responsibility for the horrible things that they have done to people. But a lot of people that say go to court, follow due process, they have abused somebody, maybe not sexually, they might have assaulted somebody, forced themselves on someone, maybe a kiss. There are people, hiring managers, who would offer you less because you're a woman.
You can't defend that position.
No, like it's not that I can't defend it, but I'm not in that situation. You guys are in a crisis. Do you understand? It's an emergency.
It may not be a crisis.
Hello, 100K for a whole family.
A woman makes ₦1 million, right? And a man is making 250,000 naira. And the man is supposed to be the one providing the rent and providing for the family.
My husband is still going to take care of me. He's still going to be the one to pay for my hair. You know, if I want to buy some certain things, baby, come and buy me this dress. You know, things like that. I still want him to do those things. Now, my money to me is an emergency.
I think it's
he's paying rent and he's doing other things.
Not fair.
You don't just limit provision to just financial.
Yeah.
There are several ways to provide. There are several ways to provide the families. And we shouldn't make it the case that the man must always be the one to provide.
Hello guys, my name is Victor Akan and I would like to welcome you to yet again another episode of our Breath of Hope podcast. And today did something extremely different from what I would usually do. I brought in a couple of people to discuss about the challenges/privileges of each gender in society, so men and women. And we'll be talking around topics, regarding ranging from rape to say pay gap, to say patriarchy, and things like that, right? And of course, in a very sensitive and careful approach. Before I start asking the questions, I'll do like a brief introduction of each person. So I'll start with Joy. Joy, could you tell me who you are, what you do, quickly?
All right. Hi, everyone again. My name is Joy. I'm a product designer and I'm very core Christian. So, yeah, thank you.
Choma.
Hi guys, my name is Choma. I'm also a Christian. I'm a fashion designer and I'm also into product management.
Hello, I'm Peter and I'm a herbalist. And I'm a writer.
Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Emeka. I am an interior designer, a production manager, and I'm a sound engineer. Thank
you so much. Actually, Emeka is everything in one. Emeka is the guy that when you have a problem, you're like, who can solve this problem? Let me call Emeka. That's Emeka. But yeah, that's by the way. So we'll start with the very first issue that I've written down, and I think that's on rape. I would definitely approach this in a very sensitive and careful manner. The statistics around that, in America, I think they said 15%, 15 out of every 100 women, that's 15%, would have experienced rape at least once, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I think it's a lot higher in Nigeria. I think I touched on it a little bit last year, and it was up to about 20-something% in Nigeria. I think it was up to 30. Is that for sexual abuse or for rape? I can't remember which one. Right? And so of course we'll be approaching this very carefully. The thing now is that we have a lot of women who have suffered from this, right? We have a lot of women who have suffered from this, and because of that, there was like a whole movement to ensure that the punishment for rape was severe, which should be, right? But then as time now evolved, we now had women who now took this as a weapon to say punish men. Let's have an issue with you. I'm a woman. I have an issue with you. I will just forcefully accuse you, try to, drain your reputation, make you lose your job, make you lose, a lot of things, right? That would have been accessible to you as a human being, right? And so we now have a balance, because back then we had this whole stigma. And so when a woman, would say I was raped, you then have people asking, most of them were silly questions. What were you wearing and things like that, right? Right. And then we then went to the extreme of saying, don't ask any questions, right? And so someone just feels like she can come out and say I was raped. No one's going to ask me any question. Believe me, right? Because when you don't believe me, it impedes the other person who might want to speak up, right? And so we now have people who would now want to take advantage and weaponize that, and accuse people falsely. And then these people would then have to do certain privileges. I mean, we saw an example of the guy in UK. There was a guy that released there was a whole thread around that. And, he brought a lady from Nigeria to his house and she accused him of it. I think they had to seize his license before I think it was proven that he wouldn't do it or something like that, right? And so I think the question I would want to ask, and I would like everyone to, weigh in their opinions on this, is what should be the balance, right? Because on one end, if we say, let's not believe the women, let us first ask questions so we don't take someone's reputation away falsely, right? You prevent women from wanting to speak up in a way, right? But when you now say, let's ask questions, some women, not women, few women would then want to weaponize that and destroy certain men. So, floor is open.
All right. So, there is a proper way to go around rape allegations, because the law states that anything without concrete evidence, or except the law has called it this, is still an allegation. So, and if you claim a thing is an allegation, you can't come out to say a man has raped a woman, or reverse, a woman has raped a man. So, I know there's a part where we say when people ask for evidence, women now feel that it waters down the whole experience and everything. But the idea of a justice system is that there must be a way and precedence things must follow. And the law says if a person has been accused of rape, the person should bring forth evidence. So that's why there are tests, you go to the hospital. I know the whole stigma around it, but we need to understand that treating rape anyway aside not following due process. That is, I was raped. I went to the police station to report the case and went to the hospital, did a test, it was confirmed that I was raped. Then we went to court and followed due process. If he does not follow that due process, it is still an allegation.
Okay.
Now think about it, that it is unfair to the accused not to have followed due process, like not to have experienced due process in his case. Do you get? It's like jungle justice.
Okay.
So I think I would brand rape allegations that people have claimed to be real as jungle justice.
Yeah.
It's not giving a person fair hearing.
Okay. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I agree with most of what he said.
Okay.
But the sad thing is, as much as when in such an advanced era in the world, Nigeria is still so backward. Do you understand? In so many things. A lot of people some people do not even know that they could walk into a hospital, get those tests done. Now, in cases like that, these abuses were done 10 years, 20 years ago, and there is no evidence. That's where the problem lies. It's very easy to say, when it happens, get tested, go take the evidence, go to court, which the court is even another thing altogether. It's very easy to say those things. But in cases that are dire like that, what happens? There are literally abusers going off of that. Like, I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
So there are situations like that. It's very dicey. It's a dicey situation. It's hard to say, let's believe the victim.
Okay.
And it's also hard to say, no, this guy is not guilty, because there is no evidence. But the part of the world that we are, there is no room for that. So how do you help the victim? I think that's personally my problem. I agree with him, go to court and everything. But I think some people have used go to court as a way to sneak away from responsibility for the horrible things that they have done to people. And a lot of people that say that, I'm not saying you're one of them, but a lot of people that say go to court, follow due process, they have abused somebody, maybe not sexually, they might have assaulted somebody, forced themselves on someone, maybe a kiss, a caress, something. Do you understand? So they feel there is no evidence for that. So if there is no evidence for that, why should you just come out and say, oh, this guy raped me and we should believe you? Do you understand?
Yeah,
A lot of the voices saying go to court. That's what I'm saying. They know that the system is decrepit.
Yeah.
So they use that as an out too.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Yeah, so I think that's a very interesting question. A quick story. Sorry. Quick story. So my pastor, based on his personal experiences, right, he said that in his own experience, right, based on his own experience, so he has dealt with more. So for instance, let me just break it down to you. So a woman comes to meet him, I was raped, sir, and then he's angry, he charges up. Who is the guy? Let's get police. Locks the guy up. And then after a day or two, the now says, actually, sir, I wasn't raped. Like, the guy, like, we slept together, maybe I felt used, and I just felt like, okay, maybe he didn't want a relationship after. I just felt that was the only way I could deal with him, but it's like, this is now going too far. Like, they want to take the matter to court, and I'm feeling very bad. I can't hold it, right? So he said he has had more experiences of forced rape allegations as opposed to true rape allegations. And so it has made him more careful, right? So I get what you are saying regarding those other people, right? And to be sad, that's very sad, right? But then I also think that there's also a danger, right? If we now wanted to go to the other extreme to just believe at first sight.
No,
right?
I didn't say believe.
No, I know you didn't say that.
I
I'm
didn't
just
say
trying
believe,
to point out
but
that
I'm saying that case is there.
Yeah.
There are cases
Definitely.
like that. Now, in cases like that, there's really not much we can do.
Yes.
So I do believe that if someone comes out and says, oh, this person did this to me, but it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm not saying believe that person, but I'm saying also don't disbelieve that person.
Yeah, of course.
Let's leave it
Definitely.
hanging.
Of course.
Leave it hanging. You know
Middle ground,
why?
yes.
It's so sad. You know, some people will be like, suicide happens in threes in families. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes that rape that's not going to be the last one. So it's good to have it on record that person, somebody has said that person did that.
Yeah.
Someone has come out to say something so that if it happens again, you can use that as a supporting evidence for when it happens again. So it is important for people to still say 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line that they were raped.
Okay.
I think it's still important to take what they said.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe it or disbelieve it. Just take it and give it a room somewhere. Yes, this person said this, because there have been cases where someone said it and it triggered someone that it had just happened to come out. And another thing, you said the pastor said there are more people who lie about it than the people that are honest. The funny thing is, it's harder for people that are actual victims to say it.
Yes, I know.
It's so hard. I've spoken to people, I know people who were raped as children. And it was terrible. And when they say these things much later, you're just weak.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Literally nothing you can do about it, because that, as a child, nobody noticed. So how are you going to bring that person to book? And those people have not been able to say to their significant others, their mothers, their fathers, their siblings. Maybe they say it to you because you're more removed from the case than, being so close that you charge up and start looking for those people to kill them. Yeah. When she knows very well that there is no evidence that can bring this person to book.
So I think the difficulty in verifying rape allegations applies when the event happened long ago, like 10 years ago. But I think if it happens like, say, a day ago, it's easier to verify if
That's
indeed
true.
that was a true
if the
play
person has
or
the
not.
education to know what to do.
Yeah. So the issue would be if I don't know what to do with a long if you were raped long ago. Like, I can't verify.
Do you think the person should come out?
Yeah, I think so. I think we need to ensure two things: that people who were raped should be free to speak up. One,
even if it was long ago,
even if it's long ago, they should be free to speak up. Although it would be harder to verify if it was long ago.
What if it was after assailant had died?
Well, they can still speak up if they want.
Not necessarily
right?
because
But
of
if
justice.
if it makes
Not
them
necessarily
feel
because of
better.
exactly, not necessarily because of justice.
But do you think it's fair to speak on someone who can't defend
I
himself?
find it very unfair, Sha.
Well, but if it makes you find
Yes, otherwise
peace,
it's not necessarily for
it makes you
justice.
find peace.
Can I
Sometimes
say
It may not be a
can speak up.
justice reason.
Can I say something? There was this lecturer in, I think, UNN who died, and people were giving him accolades, and people were like, what is going on? This man was an abuser.
Yeah.
And people started, stories started pouring. It was one person's story that
That
caused an avalanche of
Yeah.
stories. So
Okay.
I genuinely believe, even if the person is dead, because in this part of the world, we know how to saint dead people. We turn them into saints.
Yeah.
They,
Charlie,
did nothing
Nigeria
wrong.
or Africa, yeah.
This person has died. Why are you doing this?
No, but I was asking the question from the perspective of the law. If someone comes to accuse my father of rape now, I'll be very angry. I'll come for that person.
I understand.
Yeah.
But I think, in all fairness, it can be easy for anybody's child
Mhm.
to hear that
Their
your
father
dad was a
was raped.
rapist. Like, it can be. It could literally cause the person's world to fall apart.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But the truth of the matter is this: we have to give room that we are human beings, and the human heart is desperately wicked. Someone can be a horrible worker. Someone can be a horrible boss and be the best father. So because your father was great to you,
It's
Abacha.
popular.
does
It's popular.
not,
It's popular
does
saying.
not
Abacha.
It's
mean
popular saying. My father is the best dad in the world. Who can the NYSC office? That's a practical example. Yeah.
I even know people who their fathers were like horrible to them. But when the father dies, miss my best friend. Like stories, like constantly. And you're like, guy, I knew your dad. Like you complained to me. He was a horrible dad to you. So what is all this? So we have that tendency to protect like what's ours, especially when there's an outside gaze. Do you
Yeah, I
understand?
get that.
So but that's why I said understand that the human heart is wicked. I mean, even I'm sitting with you right now. If you hear tomorrow that, God forbid, I did something horrible, you'd be like, that girl, how could she do that? That's the thing. You don't know somebody in entirety. So give space for human error. That's it.
I also feel like there should be some sort of like punishments.
Yeah.
For people that falsely
Yeah.
accuse
Yeah.
other
Some people
Correct.
say it
Some
should
people
be
just
agree.
do it
Yeah,
because they want to
I think it should
revenge
be as
somebody.
severe as
Mhm.
rape itself. Because I mean, if you are condemned for rape, what's the punishment for it?
There are so many horrible things that happen to some people in different countries. Some people
Yeah.
get castrated. Some people
Yes.
are
I
on
mean, it
death
should be
row.
severe.
Yes.
Some people are
So the
on
point is to
live.
discourage
Do you-
that behavior.
Do you think
Bad
women
behavior.
should receive equal punishment or maybe
Very
less?
controversial,
But it
but I
should be
think
severe.
equal because
I think
it
equal.
will be
Yeah.
a deterrent to you. Hold on.
Okay.
Now, if this is going to be the case here, there should also be the possibility of you can't
You
prove
can't
it.
exactly.
Do you
So-
understand? You can't prove it. Do you understand?
And then everyone
But-
just
But there should be something as a deterrent. Honestly, there should be. Left to me, if it can be 100%, you lied, oh yeah, go.
I
Do you
understand. what you're
understand?
saying.
Yeah.
Like the punishment for rape should be the same punishment for false accusation.
But,
Maybe not,
but the
but it
issue
should be
is,
as
severe.
hold on.
Maybe not the same,
Beyond
but it
the
should be
Hold
severe.
on.
But
The
it should
issue
be-
is,
not
the
as
issue is,
severe.
if the
Yeah,
court
not
is
as-
a
Yeah,
kangaroo
it should be as
court,
severe,
if
but
the
not the
court
same.
is
They
a
don't have to be
kangaroo
the same.
court and models the case, and the small child that was raped, and they said no, the small child was not raped, he fell or she fell, and so the child should go to jail.
Which fell at the how?
You don't understand, like the child sustained injury from rape, and they
Mm.
say no, the court says, kangaroo court says no, the child just fell, that was like, it wasn't rape. Do you understand? Like dismisses all evidence and says it wasn't rape, because that could happen. So are you saying the people that accuse them
So you have to prove that the person is lying. That you have to prove that it is a false accusation. So there are cases where
so after
where
the
we
case,
don't know, there isn't enough evidence that this guy is guilty.
or
There isn't enough evidence that he's like that one. Everyone go your separate ways.
okay,
Just have it on record, like you said initially.
yeah.
So if you now have like 10 people, 20 people, now ask
Yeah.
that guy, how far? Why?
Exactly. Why do you have 10?
Now you be the only man who did this world. You
Well,
get.
I do know that for false accusation, there should be some kind of
I agree. Let's talk about pay gap.
And this one I wait for.
Pay gap.
Big up. Okay.
Choma,
I think ladies should speak first.
Yeah,
Eh?
let's
Who?
speak first.
The ladies should speak
Who?
first, so that we will know how to
Okay.
respond.
Okay, let me
But
start.
they tend to be more biased on this
Yeah,
subject.
yeah, very bad. And I will explain it.
Yeah.
Now, you see
Men are
like,
tend-
Choma, what do you think about pay gap? So of course, pay gap. Like I know what you would say. It's different for across every society.
Of course it is.
Yes, exactly. But I want to know your general perception about pay gap. Do you think it's solely due to the gender discrimination, or do you think there are a lot of other factors to consider?
No, of course there are other factors to
Okay.
consider. Even when it comes to going for certain jobs, there are women that shy away from some jobs because historically they've been told you can't do that. Do you
Okay.
understand? Now those jobs are some of the higher paying jobs, and they are looking to get into those jobs now.
Okay.
Maybe because of education or exposure. The problem now comes because it's not an old boys club
Okay.
that you're trying to get into. So sometimes there are hiring managers who don't even want you to get in there.
Okay.
Now, since they don't want you to get in there, they can choose to lowball you and
Okay.
give you not ridiculous pay,
Mhm.
but say they're paying a male counterpart for the same role,
Mhm.
120.
Mhm.
They want to remove the 20 on top of it and maybe give it to one of their executives as a bonus, and or put it there for you that, if you do well in 3 months, we're going to, add this.
Mhm.
So it happens. There have been literal cases of recruiters getting blank CVs and picking a female CV over a male CV because there wasn't gender attached. But when they were given those same CVs in a different blind test, in an open test, they chose the male CV. That's literally the only difference. Same writing, same font, same everything. And it happened over like a series of tests. It happened over and over again. My first degree was in HR.
Okay.
So I know this for a fact.
Okay.
There are people, hiring managers, who would offer you less because you're a woman. So in my first degree, I read HR, and there are literally studies here of people, recruiters, being given the same CVs, one male, one female, but the gender wasn't there. That's the only thing that was different. And they chose the female CV, yeah? But in another test that was open, the only thing that was added was male or female, and they chose the male's CV. Do you understand? That shows you that there is a bias in the hiring industry. Do you understand? It is there. Now, there are also reports of people in the same company. When you come into the same company, say entry level, a guy, they will give him the 120 that he's meant to get. Do you understand? But a woman, they will offer her, would you do 100? Do you understand? Like, that's our offer for you. Do you understand? Now, the thing is, women most times will not push back for the extra 20 if they didn't know it was on the table.
Men always push for
Men will push for more. Sometimes they won't even get it, but they will still ask. But even say, okay, you came in to negotiation, they've already reduced your negotiating power by offering you 100 when they offered your counterpart 120, and that one said, can you guys go higher? And they're like, no, that's the cap. Do you understand? But this one, they didn't even offer you the 120, they offered you the 100.
Okay.
Do you understand? And then they are telling you, oh,
I have something to say
accept
to that.
like,
When my second company I worked with, when I was joining, they offered me a certain amount, right? So I have this guy that works with me in the first company. Then he moved to another company, and that company I moved to now wanted him, right? So after we were doing the same position, the same level of experience, but they offered him lower. So he now reached out and he says, "This okay?" I said, "No, no. They offered me like 100 higher. I'm going to ask for 100 higher." So he asked for it and they gave it to him. So I don't know if that's it.
Bias.
I don't know if that's a bias for
but
gender.
you need
It's-
to. I
it's
think you need to
business.
hold on. I think you need to pay attention to what I said.
Mhm.
I said 2 people coming in at the same level.
Mhm.
Me,
He was on the
say
same level
you
with me,
and
though.
you. Hold on, you and you. You were offered 100. Do you understand? Same in like the men coming into the interview room are given 120. The women coming into the interview room are given 100.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay, so consistently.
It was consistent across board. And it does happen because this is a recruiter that said this to me.
Okay.
So
And they will tout some facts at you. Hold on. They will tell you women will tend to marry, women will tend to maybe move because of their spouse. What
country
they'll get
was
pregnant.
this
Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria.
They will tell you they will get pregnant. She might her productivity might reduce. They will
As
say
long as
we're
they're
doing
doing
yeah,
the same
I want her to
job,
speak more.
the same work hours.
Yeah.
So I don't think pickup should be an issue. They are doing the same job, the same work hours, the same
But they're producing the same result though. I'm
They
just
are
asking.
producing the same results. Then they should be paid equally.
Okay.
So I don't think.
So I don't think there's a need to argue against what you are saying.
Okay.
I think it's true.
Okay.
No one would argue that, but what we want to know is
Are there other factors? No, of course. I prefaced with saying.
So I mean, because I can.
Hold on. I
think of several
prefaced with
counter-scenarios, okay.
saying that there are other factors. Honestly, there are.
I think what's interesting is that gender.
And
is like
sometimes if you
very-
walk into
but
the
do you
interview,
think
they
my
can know
new-
your weak sauce.
But do you
They'll be
think-
like, no,
to be
this
very
one is
honest,
weak.
everybody you do business for profit.
Yes.
So if I can offer the same way they offered the guy 100,000 lesser because they were trying to make more profit.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, life answers to the bold.
Well, the guy, there is that, and there is the point of I will pay you less because you are a woman. And
Yes,
that's
exists.
which you are not
exactly
That
denying.
exists.
That's exactly
But that
what
is
I'm
not
saying.
the only
reason
factor. In
why.
fact, it is a very insignificant factor.
It depends.
Yeah, I mean, it's not independent. I think
You
there are
say
studies done to show that
there
it
are
doesn't really-
studies.
It doesn't really affect
It doesn't really affect
much. It
where.
affects, but it's not as much as other factors.
So I think one major factor is
It's
how
business.
okay no so
I agree.
I'm going to
I
explain.
agree. It's business, but it's.
Let me
it
give you
is-
an example why I keep hammering on its business. Let's use football. If I ask you now, I'll mention 3 not so popular footballers, male footballers, and you tell me you know them, right? You know Mbappe,
that's
you know Rashford.
you know Rashford.
Do you watch football? You don't watch football, but she knows them. Good. Do you know Mata that plays for Brazil female national team?
No.
Do you know Morgan? You know Rapinoe?
I don't even know that.
I know them because I watch football.
Okay.
The idea of, because this is an argument that they say why do they pay male footballers more than they pay female footballers, is that it is business. What brings in the most profit for them? The male football brings in more profit. Like, think about the fact that a woman knows more unpopular male footballers than she knows the guys I just mentioned for you now in female football are the most popular. Mata has won, I think, 7 or how many Ballon d'Ors. In female football, they don't know them.
Oh wow.
Yes. Rapinoe played for the US. Like, if I even ask them the name, you don't know them. Morgan, you don't know them. You don't know Hertz. You don't know all those guys. Why? Because they are not as popular. I'm not saying they're not as popular because they push the male. They push yours. It's business.
So
I want to say something
it's
to
a
what
case
you
of
said.
perceived value. I think we
Perceived
perceive
value, right?
male sports as more valuable than female sports. I think that male sports is more valuable. I mean, at least
It's
male
more
football
valuable.
is more valuable.
It's
I
more-
think you can
even
you
basketball.
of course. I mean, you can argue,
It's more
but
valuable.
there's no point in. I don't think there's any substance to any argument.
You
that
get-
say,
It is. For the maybe when we come to
or
tech,
what would you say?
when we come
I
to
wanted to
tech,
say something.
we can say
For
that
tech,
okay,
for-
everybody's doing value. If
For tech, I can speak from experience.
I don't know, I'm not
Okay.
in the tech field.
Okay.
I'll speak for the places where I know. For value in soccer, basketball, in sports generally, the male sport brings more value to the industry than the female sport does.
So it makes sense that they pay Ronaldo more than they pay Martha.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
For
As it
tech,
should be.
for tech, I think it depends on area of interest. So in the tech field, we have the more technical part and the less technical part. The more technical part will typically earn higher than the less technical part. So like design and stuff. In my experience, because I teach people data engineering, data analytics, and all of those things, so you get to pick what you want to learn. Ladies are more likely to want to learn data analysis because it involves visualization and observation. Ladies are generally more observant than men. Men would generally want to go and do the code. So if, for instance, I'm trying to, now of course I've seen exceptional ladies that are very good at technical stuff. right? But I'm speaking on the more generic surface now. And if a lady says she wants to learn data analysis, and I try to say, okay, how about data engineering? Just to say, is it coding? It's like, no, I don't want to do. And I say, just try it more. After like the first one, the lady is like, see, I said I don't want to do this thing. Show me the other one that I'm seeing colors, right? So that then would now influence what you would definitely earn. And generally speaking, a data engineer would typically earn more than a data analyst, all things being equal, right? So I think we have lots of factors like you rightly pointed out. So.
Yeah, like I said before, the football analogy to me doesn't really play into what I said, because yes, the male sports guys are more geared towards it. The male football has always been there much longer than the women's sports. Do you understand? They've had years to build it. They are the ones that are typically more interested in it. They watch it more than any other person. So it makes sense that that's the case. So that doesn't even have bearing in that scenario. But when I said you're coming in for the same role, it's not like it's just a job. Like, do you understand? And then somebody is purposely, because they are women, maybe also because they perceive that, this person is not going to push back, then they decide to offer them a lesser offer.
I have something against that.
I think it has a bearing.
I didn't say it's not. Hold on. I didn't say it's not business.
Okay.
Yeah, to look for the weak points of people and capitalize on it.
That's how the world works.
But hold on. But there's a bias to it.
There was a guy that posted on his Twitter or Instagram and said, in this same Abuja that all of you are in, somebody is doing MC work, is collecting 1.5 million for a day. One guy came and shouted, he said, my God. He said, he said he's still charging people 200,000. You see the same guys that are doing it too. One person saw that he could demand for more money. Nobody gave it because he was valued. It was that he demanded for a price. It's not that there was any bias. So it was that one person was bold enough to say, Oga, this is how much I want to collect.
To try to make it balance. Maybe we could be aware of our biases and not project that but based on gender. But I also think that if women were less agreeable, then maybe women might.
That's a factor actually. That's a factor. Women are more agreeable.
Then you also hear
Women
things like
more agreeable than men. So that's why they don't tend to negotiate harder than men.
And I think also boils down to responsibilities, right? And responsibilities in this sense is that I know that not in all cases, in a lot of cases, men are more providers. That's a man will bring more to the household, right, than women in a lot of cases. I didn't say in all cases, but in a lot of cases.
Most of the cases.
Yes.
Not even household.
Statistically speaking, right? And so what that would mean is that I know I have more responsibilities. So when you're offering me 100K, I'm like, I'll get picking too.
Let me even drift a bit. A single man doesn't charge as much as a married man. Because a married man has responsibilities.
Yes.
There's a way he will charge you.
Yes.
Because he knows that this money is not just to feed myself. A single man is just catering for himself. Like he can sleep on some days. But the married man has more ginger to go to work and say, okay, this 150 is no longer 115 again with this economy. He would ask for more money. You get? So there just is it's not really a case of, and men are used to facing rejection. And men have grown with facing rejection. So a woman will be scared to say, let me ask them, what if they don't give me the job? A man will say, I will ask, you will not give me the job and I'll find my way. Look for another job somewhere else.
That's true.
But a woman will say, what if I ask for 150? What if they don't give me? Rejection. Let me just stay with the 100. At least they say one bread in hand better than the one inside bush. But no, the man doesn't care if one bread is not in his hand. He will also for another bread somewhere else. He will enter the bush and go and look for the bread.
Unless he's desperate.
No, not desperate. Sometimes it's not desperation, it's just the fact that he has responsibilities that he must cater for.
Yeah.
I said unless he's desperate, because if literally you don't have a job and you need to line one up and that one is not paying you up to what you need, you will still take it because you have to eat.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I don't think I got that point.
I said it still boils down to that. Like if like a guy could take the job because of desperation, it's not what you need, but you need, at least it's going to meet up to some of this thing, and there's nothing else, you will take it. That's what I'm trying to say.
But he will still go out to
look for another thing to. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
If a guy is being paid more than you and you've noticed, all you have to do is just ask for a raise. You have to like understand your value. You know that you might even be doing way more than the guy is doing. Just ask for a raise.
That's fine. Okay, so let me start with Joy. What do you think about the idea of having 50% men and 50% women in your workplace as an organization, on an organizational level?
I actually don't agree with that because let's use a construction company as an example. Now, you can't have 50-50% because there are more men that do the whole construction thing, lifting the weight and everything. So, like, you definitely know you can't have 50-50%. And for caretaking, more women do caretaking because we are very, like,
Caring,
and everything. So, you definitely cannot have 50-50%. So,
How about a software company
software
or
company.
a bank?
Yeah, a bank. We actually have more women in banks than men.
It's true, actually. We have
Because
62% of
women
female.
know how to communicate. They are very I don't know how to put it, but they are very welcoming.
Well, that's not most of the part, Sha. There's a reason why women are more in the bank, Sha.
I know why.
That's why.
But yeah.
Why would you
Sales.
say?
I actually
why would you
agree with
say
him
Sales.
because on the floor you see more women, but at the back it's almost the same.
Yeah,
women are
It's
more
almost the same.
customer-facing.
So
Yes.
when if they're the face that they give people is you see more women.
more
Yeah.
women
Okay.
because they are very welcoming and
They're pretty.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sadly,
Okay,
they're pretty,
let me
and
tweak
that's
it up a bit. How about in tech? Should we have 50-50?
I think it's nonsense.
I don't think.
Nonsense. I
yeah,
I personally feel it's
I don't
nonsense.
think it's
not.
I think
I don't
it's,
feel
I, I
it's the
think it's
point.
ludicrous.
Employ what you need.
You think
Yes,
it's what?
I think it's ludicrous to
Ridiculous.
say
It's laughable.
50-50.
Just employ what you want.
Like,
and
so
what you
your
need.
company should suffer
Because
because
you
you're
want
trying
to
to meet
balance-
a quota.
exactly.
That's why,
Come on.
Nonsense.
like, I understand the need. Like, people will be like, oh, but like, give women a chance because historically men have been in those spaces longer. Yes, give them a chance. Equip them for what they want to do. Try to get them into those spaces, but do not force companies to meet
employ-
a quota
exactly.
so that they can be claiming diversity.
you're looking for
I
productivity.
think it's ridiculous.
You're not trying to.
Okay, so you're more in favor of opportunities than outcomes.
Yeah.
Value,
Yeah.
and outputs.
Okay.
That's the most
Okay.
important thing.
Okay, I think that's reasonable. We didn't spend a lot of time on
That's
that.
it.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
straightforward thing.
Yes. So let's discuss patriarchy. I think patriarchy to an extent starts at the very smallest unit of society, which is the family. Right. So what do you think about that, Choma?
Well, to me, I think patriarchy is trying to, like, most times they try to perceive a man as being of more value than the woman. Now, I can only speak for like households I've been privy to because you said come down to the family. I do believe that the man is the head of the home. And I say this because there has to be a captain of the ship.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Even when you're cooking, one person has to make the final decisions. If not, the sauce might be going this way and that. You understand? Some people have been able to do that, and both of them are, and surprisingly, the soup comes out good. But if we're saying generally, that soup would be awful. That's the truth. So for me, I think that there should be a head of the family. Now, that does not mean that because I said there should be a head of the family, whatever the man says should go.
Okay.
I feel what makes sense is whoever is more knowledgeable in that field should we should listen to that person more, even if it's the child of the family.
Yep.
Do you understand? So say you guys are trying to buy a gadget, but it's the Gen Z in the family that actually understands these things.
Yeah.
Why should the daddy say no? All of us is Nokia 3310 that we're buying.
trying to
Do
upgrade
you understand?
family
Like,
business.
it makes absolutely no sense. I think it's ridiculous. But I have seen cases where because he is the man of the house, he will be saying absolute rubbish and they will be accepting it. But to each their own. But for me, I wouldn't be caught in that. So I'll leave it at that.
How about you?
So I actually really agree with what she said. So we just have to be very reasonable the man doesn't have to make all the decisions. Okay, he's the head of the family, he's the breadwinner and everything, but he can't be making all the decisions. There are some things that, okay, the woman has to like take over, and other members of the family have to
What
take over. So
what if we generally have a man who lets a woman take decisions, but on certain decisions where
His word is final.
objectively speaking, the woman is better, but he doesn't think so, and so he wants to take the initiative. What do you think about that?
That has been the cause of like a lot of people's issues.
Okay.
So men would let their women spend the money from the house anyhow she likes. Do you understand? But when it comes to his family visiting, they shouldn't ask for permission, knowing full well that his family is going to come and destroy the whole house, and she's going to be left cleaning and picking up because she's that kind of person that just wants her home to look beautiful. Those things cause issue. Do you understand? And I always say this thing: if you know you're not going to follow through, don't start. You can't agree to something at the beginning of the relationship. Say you used to go to their house, cook and clean, do all sorts of things, show them that you're wife material. Baby, they're going to come to your house when you marry him. Come and show us all those skills you were displaying. Continue displaying those skills. You can't go to people's houses. The dishes are piled high. You go there, you're cleaning, you're doing all those things. And then you marry him and think they're going to automatically change and become responsible with things that are in your house. That's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. So if they are used to that, a few people will give themselves brain and say, they don't marry. Let's respect ourselves. We can't be going over to their house and doing all that. But some people would not. I'm sorry, but it's the hand you give people that they're going to continue with. So just do what you can continue,
Okay, sorry, Peter.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Because human beings don't understand boundaries.
yeah.
You set it.
Okay. So you feel like sometimes the woman should insist, right?
But from the start, though.
So you see, you get into some homes where the man would not make certain decisions. Would never. Every time you call him to ask him, you say, "Call my wife,"
Yeah.
because he knows. Especially when it comes to dealing with his family.
Even domestic issues.
Yes.
Like visiting,
You say, "Call my wife." I'm coming.
Your wife should have.
The wife, because
And some women will tell you, my husband said.
Exactly.
My husband said.
Well, if you're fine with it,
Anything that works.
My husband
Well, that
said,
works
you
for
people
you.
cannot come today. Maybe next week.
I don't know.
That's
What
it.
works for, as long as it is not wrong. And how do we judge wrong from what is wrong?
Now you have your moral compass and your principles.
Yes.
That's how you judge what's
the
wrong.
problem with moral compass. I don't like using moral compass. Who moral compass are faulty? For example, there was a time that killing
But
of
it's,
twins.
but it's there.
There was a time that killing of twins was normal. So you can't say that it's theirs.
well, it's there.
No, it was
So
theirs
if
now.
if-
It
if-
was.
if I-
objective.
Okay, so if I give back to twins, I want to kill them. They are my children.
Exactly.
Will you have an issue with it?
No, I will have an issue with
But
it.
they're
That's
my
my
children.
that's my opinion. I'm allowed to
It's
have
not-
an
Oh,
opinion.
you can't say your
It's really
opinion.
wrong
Will you get
to
police to come
wrong.
arrest me?
Hold on.
Even if that's
the
the
law
opinion,
of
it's
hold
still
on,
It's still
hold
wrong.
on, hold on.
Very
If the
wrong.
law of the land says they're allowed to kill their children, what am I going to do?
See,
You can fight against it.
You
You
can
can't say
fight
it was
against
wrong.
because
Yes,
that's
yes,
the
yes,
opinion.
yes,
Yes, but I'm not going to.
No,
I'm not going to charge into
there was
their
a time
house
that killing of
and
twins
stop them from
was
killing
wrong.
the
No, but we're not
twins.
saying that, but we are saying that it is still wrong.
I said yes.
Like, so I was having a question with somebody and I was talking about polygamy. That is polygamy wrong? That what makes it wrong? Don't judge from a this thing ethical or religious bias. I said, this is the problem. There must be a basis for arguments or conversations. What is our foundation? I told you, I brought in Nigeria. Do you realize that polygamy is not recognized? Yes, it's in the
Yeah, it's
constitution.
not an issue.
A man's first wife is his only legally recognized wife. Oh, you don't know? Now you know. Now you know. A man's first wife is only legally recognized wife is in the constitution. A man dies today and he had 4 wives. The country only recognizes the woman that he first married.
If he doesn't have a
So the
will.
rest of
If he
them.
does not have a will. So I told him, let us now leave. Let's say we don't want to use the whole religious standpoint of view to have the conversation about polygamy. What I'm saying this is I'm trying to address when we talk about moral compass, ethical, all of those things. Because sometimes some people's moral, if you hear things,
It's not a compass.
it's not compass. It's like it's mixed direction. It's like the Google map is not working.
Okay, what I meant by moral compass is this, mine lies in the Bible because I'm a Christian.
Exactly.
Hold on, but some other people's moral compass can lie in whatever.
Like
so
what, for example?
I don't know, whatever it is that they believe. There are many
Jungle.
things people believe. Whatever it is they believe.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to take into account that those boundaries will be gotten from the moral compass and the principles that they have. Do you understand? Some people's religion, those things, it kind of, a woman shouldn't say anything if her husband is telling her to do, you know? Like, there are different things. So,
All right. So about the roles that we have. First of all, I spoke about the whole the man should be like the head of the home and things like that. What does that mean to you?
I think it means he's the provider for me.
Okay.
I mean, some people might want to be the provider, but for me, he's the provider. Because even, let's say I'm a billionaire and he's a multi-millionaire, my husband is still going to take care of me. He's still going to be the one to pay for my hair. You know, if I want to buy some certain things, baby, come and buy me this dress, things like that. I still want him to do those things. Now, my money to me is an emergency. If my husband, God forbid, faces any kind of attack, my money is there to make sure that our lifestyle does not change. Do you understand? To make sure that he gets back on his feet. I don't believe that adults should not work. But if you decide that you don't want to work as a man or as a woman, that is absolutely okay. Find a partner that would do the working, because you have to eat.
Okay.
So if what you want to do is to take care of, but I also think in doing that, also know what your spouse is doing, so that if they are not there anymore, your children do not suffer and go down to zero. So there's that. So for me, the man is the provider. He's the protector. Do you understand? He's the spiritual head of my home. Do you understand? He's the one who's going to go to battle for us first and I'm going to be right behind him or beside him, helping him along, pushing him, making sure he doesn't fall, and, comforting him, caring for him as much as I can, God willing. So yes, that's what I believe. And I think he's also going to, so many things. I don't really, that's what I see the head of the home as.
So, how about you?
So what I believe is, yes, the man is the provider and everything, and the woman is the supporter. So if he's making money for the family, and also the woman is like getting money, now the man's money is everybody's money.
Okay, I don't actually.
Wait, hold on. The woman's money is there for support.
Yeah.
It's not exactly everybody's money, but it's there just in case something happens and they have to count on it. Okay. So it's just the man is just there. The man is there for support. The woman is there for support, while the man is there.
Now this proves my point.
I don't agree.
Why in the workplace. So what to see a man?
Hold on.
Let us take one more because of biases like this.
I don't agree.
Because you expect him to provide.
Hold on. I don't agree with this 100%. Like, his money is
but
our money.
You just wait first.
Hold on. I said my money is an emergency fund.
For emergency.
You want money for emergency?
Because
what if you never have
emergency
comes?
See, if we do not have emergencies, then we'll be using my money to jaye once in a while.
Why is it once in a while?
Why should you earn as much as a man if you only give your money?
Why are you earning more than the man?
In my scenario, I'm earning more.
You
didn't hear? Millionaire, multi-millionaire. Hold on, because
why if you're earning
that's
less?
his duty.
If
I'm earning less, then my money is still an emergency fund, and once in a while, Jai, let's take the kids for ice cream.
That's last year.
Do you understand? But let me talk. But hold on. But let me hold on. But let me say something. I don't believe, even as I said that, I don't believe that the man's money is everybody's money and my money is my money. I don't believe that. I believe that our money is our money, period. I believe that if I have $1 billion, he is signatory to $1 billion, period.
So your money is not your money per se. Your money is still
our money.
Yeah, it's still you guys' money.
Yeah, that's what I believe. No, some people have this belief that there are some people that get married and they have more money than their spouse, and people will be like, "Oh, hide your money." Do you understand? Keep it aside. I think it's so ridiculous. There have been so many, and it's sad to say, but my people, Ndibo, their men would have money hidden from their wives, these men will die. Their children will start suffering because the women did not know that this
their
money
parents
is
had
even
died.
available.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So please let your spouse know what you have. There's no point in hiding your money away, because if you're not there, let your family be able to, at least maintain. But if you're there, like, I mean, if you say, okay, I want to use my money to do this, or that's entirely up to you. But I think your spouse should know like how much you earn.
Okay.
I think I agree with her for the most part. But
For the most part?
Yeah, but where I would differ is how that she defined male headship as
Okay.
providing.
I also think I said that's my opinion,
Yes, you said
and
that.
that's
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
And that's why I say he
And-
has
and
a
that's why I
problem.
say-
That's why I said
disagree.
I don't think it's a different.
What's
it's
your
an easy-
definition of
I
male
think
headship?
so. I think male headship is more directional, right? So the head is not the better person. I mean, we are equally valuable, but the head is just there to provide direction for the team, and I don't know.
And order.
Yeah, direction and order, right? I don't see how male headship actually translates to the man must provide,
Okay.
which is where I don't think that defines headship. I think you can provide direction without being the provider, in the sense of the one that earns more and bears the more financial burden. I think that's only way I would disagree.
Because the statement was, she's a billionaire, her
He's a
husband is a
millionaire.
multi-millionaire.
I think in that instance, she should.
No, I think why we're not reading about
Yes,
it
that's
is
what you
because-
think.
No, this is the thing.
I think
And
it
that's
just makes more sense.
I think
that's
what-
your opinion.
I think what we're doing is that,
But you know,
because
objectively, you
we're-
can't really.
we're using big figures.
Okay.
Don't use big figures.
This is like 400,000, 200,000.
Very good. A woman makes 400,000. The man is making 70,000. Who's supposed to take care of you?
We'll live on his salary.
On 7,000. Your
Yeah.
children will starve now.
They
What are you talking about?
Okay,
that's what-
okay.
so that's
Can
what-
we even
woman
say
will
that's
have
not
to-
even going to happen?
Oh, it's
So-
gonna
What do you
happen.
mean
though.
it's gonna
It will not happen to me.
Do you know
No,
GB?
not you.
But I said my opinion.
No.
Wait, don't know your
See,
But no,
future.
Why
but
is
in
it-
general,
no.
this thing.
Hold
How
on.
do you know
If
that?
But
it's
you
a
don't know your
general,
future.
if
Wait,
it's
you
a
guys
general
chill.
thing,
We're not even saying.
I said everybody should do.
No,
what
we're
they
not even
like.
saying not
Do you
to.
understand?
We're saying let us
Okay.
remove this your perspective
Yes.
and use it for a person.
Yes.
Just say somebody else believes this.
I said who they can
Say
do
your
whatever
sister.
they like.
Or your friend.
No, wait.
No, it can't be them.
No, we are saying no. What we are saying.
How do you know that?
Because
What we
it
are
cannot
saying-
be
no,
them.
what we are saying
I
now-
love your faith.
either.
I love your faith.
What we are saying now,
It can be.
no. What we are saying now is
I
God
said it
forbid.
cannot
No,
be
wait,
them.
first.
I don't like
either.
all those God forbid conversations.
No.
We're trying
too.
to argue a perspective, not
Mhm.
God forbid conversation. These are perspectives. Now let us say it's not happened to her, God forbid.
Mm.
Take this way of thinking and put it to somebody that it happened to.
Mhm.
The wife makes 400,000, the husband makes 100,000. Who should they live on? Do you realize that if they are living on the husband's side, it's unfair?
Yeah.
I think let's not beat corners. It's an unfair thing.
That's
to
why
do.
I push back against people defining headship as you must
So, do you
provide.
think it's unfair?
It's unfair.
It's very unfair.
If you put it that way, yeah, they should do what's best for their family. That's what I
No,
would
it's
say.
not about best for the
ultimately.
family. How I say I have a problem with this
Yes,
moral
they
compass
should.
conversation.
They
Wait,
should
wait.
do what
I
is
think
best
the
for
reason
their
why you are struggling
family.
because you can't defend that position.
No, like it's not that I can't defend it, but I'm not in that situation, so I can't
but
speak
we are-
for someone. It's hard for me to speak for someone
Well,
else.
Let's paint two scenarios. Which you think is a better scenario? So I earn 100K, you earn 400K, and you foot more bills.
Who?
You scenario one.
Sorry, who earns
We
what?
are married. We have kids. I earn 100K. You earn 400K.
It's not me.
Scenario A. No, I'm just imagine. You foot more of the bills. Scenario B. I foot all the bills. You keep your money till an emergency.
You'll be creating emergency every day.
Like I have like
Emergency.
that. I mean, like, which is the better, reasonable, fairer?
I think in
Just-
that scenario, yeah, you and the woman, you guys are in a crisis. Do you understand? It's an
It
emergency.
may not be a crisis.
Hello, 100K for a whole family.
The man is earning 100K. The man is
Not
earning
like he
100K.
And that's an emergency.
Oh, so every day is emergency.
Every day is emergency.
That's their life.
You are beating to the
No, I'm not beating
You are
to
dabbling
anything.
this
I'm not dabbling
Let me
anything.
give you-
Can I say something? You're earning 100. The
Woman
woman
is
is earning 400. And you people have to take care of how many people?
Yeah, 2 kids or 3 kids.
And in this economy, you know how much tea and milk is. You know how much all those things are. And you're saying you guys are not in a crisis.
So what's the way out?
So obviously
She will
you
have to help. But
spend
that's not an
money.
ideal
That's not
The
a
situation.
woman has
crisis.
to
I
be-
Why not
know
an
that
situation?
I mean,
It
that's
is
some
to
people's
me.
reality.
Why
No, that's
why?
It is a
Why?
crisis
Let me
situation.
tell
Because
you.
children are involved. Hold on,
Let me-
children are
let me-
involved.
Wait.
School fees
I want
are
to
In
ask
this
her a
case,
question.
there's a lot of-
Okay,
in
imagine
this
this.
case,
Okay,
Those
wait.
children are
Let's
not
imagine I had 500k and you're like 2 million naira, and we have to like food bills.
Which person's salary will they spend?
They will still
What
spend
she-
the man's
what she
salary,
pay?
but she will help.
I have a
No, it's
question
the
to
woman's
ask.
salary they'll have to spend
fair.
because
No,
Let me tell you.
I have a question.
500k
Wait,
is obviously
Let
not
me
going
finish.
to
I
be
want to
enough.
drive.
Ah,
I want to
so,
drive.
hold on.
I hear
400 is
2
going to be
million.
enough.
Chama.
But it's
I hear 2
500k that is
million.
not going to be
Chama,
enough.
Chama, let me ask you a
Whoever
question.
salary is higher, they will have to spend that person's
Okay,
money.
good luck
I mean,
to
the person
them.
will.
Chama,
will
let me ask you a
bear
question.
Yeah.
Why is it okay?
Exactly.
Why is it
There are
okay?
women that-
Why is it not okay for the woman to earn more in the family, but it's okay for the woman to earn more in the workplace, or for men
But
to
take up more responsibility in the family.
I didn't say she shouldn't earn more.
Okay, because if she's earning more, why is she not taking more
I
responsibility?
said she would help.
To help.
You are making 400,000.
Yes,
A
5
man is
million.
making 100,000.
So she should take over the
Of
responsibility.
course.
Not take
Okay.
over, but you would like.
Oh,
you
it's
would
not
bear-
take over now.
You bear more
Yeah,
burden.
You bear more burden.
You bear
There
more
are- there are
burden.
men that
Wait,
lose
what
their
if
jobs, so their
some
wife
men
have
will
to
spend
take
all the
over.
100k.
The problem-
but then the other thing that you
The
have to
problem
do,
is that we're
you
not
must
putting it
do
into
it.
perspective.
What I am saying,
let me create real Lagos
that's
life
still not an
scenarios.
ideal situation.
Real Lagos
She
life.
can't-
No,
she
it's
can't-
not
This
reality.
is the reality.
And I said it's not ideal.
No.
The man
Why is it
should,
not
the
ideal?
man should take care of the home.
And
That's my
that's
Wait,
the idea
Victor,
I push
I
back.
want
I
to put
think that's
into
a
more-
very false
into more
idea.
clearer-
The man
wait,
should not
into
be
more clearer
provider.
perspective.
Yeah,
Okay,
make her
that's
speak.
for
Wait.
you.
The family
Wait.
See, let me make her speak.
Wait.
Sorry.
The
Let's-
family
That's
should
for
provide.
You make
The
make
man
four-
and the woman should provide.
Let me make her speak.
let me put it in more better perspective for us to understand.
Wow.
A woman makes ₦1 million, right? And a man is making 250,000 naira. They live in Yaba, where a 2-bedroom flat, and they have 2 children. A 2-bedroom. Doesn't say they don't even have children because once you bring children and use their emotions to guide it. They don't have children. There's only 2 of them.
Nobody is using emotions.
No, you're already saying it that they have
He
children.
said
like,
children.
You said because they have children, it's not
No,
an
you asked
emergency.
how
You said
many
it.
children.
No, I said they have to pay school fees. That's why I said the children.
there was already an
I didn't-
emotional
There's no
conversation.
emotional.
So let us take children outside the
to it.
conversation. A wife is earning 1 million naira. The husband is earning 250,000. They live in Yaba, where rent is about 2 million naira a year. And the man is supposed to be the one providing the rent and providing for the family from 250,000. 250,000 a year is going to give you about 3 million naira. 3 million naira. The same one the woman will make in 3
In
months.
3 months.
I say it's not unfair. Let me give you one. Let me.
How is it
I think
unfair?
I think it's evil, honestly.
It's-
I think it's
No,
very
I
It's
say
not
he's paying
fair at
rent
all.
and he's doing other
Actually
things.
not fair.
If you
Hold
say
on,
it's
I didn't-
unfair,
hold on, I
you're
didn't
being
say
mad.
she-
You're
Chama,
being
no,
mad.
that is
Chama.
very terrible.
It
Chama,
is evil.
Chaba, that proves
It
your
is
point.
evil.
When you said that a man will come for the same position in the job, and the woman, and then people are not thinking
So,
that the
okay,
man has
because
more
the man has
Wait,
no
did you guys
responsibility.
Why
think
should that
about
justify
it?
that?
You guys should think about it like this.
No, wait,
if
please.
the man loses his job and then the woman is still
Still
like
has a job.
has
What should
the woman
happen?
still has a job, whose money are they going to spend? They don't
They're
spend
in
the
an
man's money
emergency,
while the
aren't
man
they?
has to.
Aren't they in an emergency?
I know
But-
they are in
All
the
right,
emergency. but
let me ask you
They
this.
have
No,
to
but no,
spend
I want
the
to answer
man's
my
money.
question. Why should that justify that thought that I'm going to offer a man by default
More
more
money,
money than
because I know
since
he's
he has
going to do
no
more things at
responsibilities
home.
in his family?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why doesn't what justify it?
If he comes in for an analyst job, I give him 120. You come in, I give you 100,000.
100, yes.
And from what you said, your defense was that he's a man. He has to take care of that.
That was not my defense.
What was your defense? Okay, but let us say that let us assume that was the defense of the person's motive.
The
Why
recruiter, yes.
Why is that defense wrong? Seeing that that's what you believe.
See, I didn't say it's wrong or right. That's the person's opinion, right?
Okay.
But that should not. I said it should not be the case.
Why should it be the
Offering
case, seeing that he has more
less based
responsibilities?
off. How do you know that person has more responsibilities?
Because
how does the
No, by what you are
recruiter?
saying.
How,
By what you are
Because
saying.
by default,
no,
the man-
how
by
does-
default, the
by
man
what
should
you're
be
saying, you're
providing
buying
the
the
right
right.
to be
how
provider.
does the recruiter know
No, by
this?
default,
Because
the
the
man should
man-
be provider.
Everybody's hold on. I said everybody's household will do what they please. I said that.
But
now.
Did I preface with that or
But
not?
this is general mindset.
No. Leave
should we
general
deny the
mindset.
obvious
Leave
fact?
general mindset. If you're going to judge what I said, judge exactly what
Okay,
I
Our
said.
reality works. Our reality works.
Leave general
Leave
mindset. Okay, let me
judge
judge
exactly
it. You
what
go
I
into
said.
a job place and now they give you 100,000 and give somebody 250,000. You not say the person is unfair. But the man, they're running on what you said.
What did I say?
Because the man has more responsibility
in the house. Well, that would justify gender gaps. I mean, if that's
the case, then justify gender gap.
so that I think
said-
I can think of several ways.
Hold
to
on.
show
I didn't
how-
say. Hold on. I didn't say you should give the person remuneration because of the responsibilities they had. I said that's the recruiter's mindset. That's not mine. I said pay them for the value of work they do.
Okay.
So you can't use if that's the case, the old person that is at the gate of the bank that has 10 million grandchildren, pay him more than the CEO.
I can't pay more. They are both men.
No. Okay, pay him more than the female CEO. How do you know the CEO is a man?
Because the
CEO could be a woman.
They have different standards of living. I will pay him more
The
than I pay
CEO could be.
If
Hold on.
it's a woman, based on a standard of
Hold on.
living.
The CEO could be a woman. The CEO could be a
That's why I
woman.
said I will
No,
structure it
you're
based on
saying-
standard of
Even
living.
if your CEO
No.
is
Based on standard of
No,
living.
okay, now you've
You
shifted
better
the
go
No,
goalpost.
I've not shifted the
You shifted
goalpost.
the goalpost.
No, your argument.
No. Okay,
Chioma,
you know
what?
you are shifting the
You know
goalpost.
the same role.
Okay,
You're
okay,
shifting the
you know
goalpost.
what? You know what?
Wait,
Your argument is
Chioma,
like for
your
the same
argument
role.
was for
No
the same
problem.
position.
Okay, no
You are
problem.
shifting the
Now,
goalpost.
okay, no problem.
The argument was for the same position.
I said no problem.
Okay.
They are both gates men.
Uh-huh.
And okay, pay this one 1 million naira, pay this one 20k. Since he has more responsibilities.
I'm only following your words.
And I'm following, and I'm giving
I'm not just on your
and I
opinion.
have
Let
given
me
you
tell
this
you.
one.
Let me.
I have
you
given
be
you
okay
this
with it,
one.
guys.
With
Hold on.
what?
You don't just limit provision to just financial.
Yeah.
There are several ways to
I agree.
provide.
Right.
There are several ways
I
to
agree.
provide to families. And we shouldn't make it the case that the man must always be the one to provide. I don't think.
I don't
it's
know
a
why
good
you want to
assumption.
dictate for people. I think you should let people do what's best
Well,
for their
I'm
situation.
I'm saying that it is a fairer position. It is
Yes, but
it is
also-
more
Be flexible.
defensible, and it's more reasonable
Yes,
than the alternative.
because of the trials of life.
And there
So
are people
I am-
that would
I'm
not,
not saying
be
you
able
can't-
to
I'm not
live.
saying you
There are some
can't-
men
you
that
can't
will
have
not be
that
able
position.
to. There are some
I'm
men
just
that will
saying
not be
that-
able to like leave if they are not providing.
Well, that's some men like
you know
that.
you've been happy life
That's
now.
fine. But I'm just saying that it is a more reasonable position to say
So-
that. And I mean,
so let me just
I
keep
think
this
it's best to
Let me just
say
keep this
whatever
before we
works
move
for
on.
you. Do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let me just keep this in before we move on. So, the way I grew up seeing my father provide. In fact, my father provided so much that when he didn't provide, you know that this man is not providing. There's a frustration that will kill him. There's a frustration that wants to kill him, and so I can tell you that even the smallest things he bought for the house and for my mom. My mother earned a salary, but he would still give her allowances besides what he provided. My mother literally was living life like a baby till my father died. And my mother was just 38. So my mother had to get up. So I think sometimes life happens and you have to be in a position where your mindset is able to adapt to change. If not, your marriage will suffer. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I agree with
I
that.
understand what you're saying. So let's just have 1 minute each. Tell me, 4 minutes. Tell me why you think your position is right or you think just a minute and then we'll move on because we need to be done before 6:15. So
I think that human beings are responsible,
Mhm.
whether you are a male or female.
Mhm.
So if you are married, I think it is unfair to say that a particular gender, who is the head,
Mhm.
must be the one to provide. And the reason why I think that's faulty is that there are instances where the man might not actually earn a living,
Mhm.
or he might earn less than the woman. And if you come with that belief, that prior belief,
Mhm.
you would think that, well, since he's not earning, he should just hustle,
Okay.
he should keep hustling.
Okay.
And whereas you have the ability to actually help,
Okay.
but you think because well, the man is meant to provide, so
Okay.
you don't feel like you are under
Okay.
that obligation to provide, so you
Okay.
just let the man suffer.
Okay.
I think that kind of thinking animates that reality, and I think that's an evil reality.
Okay.
And if you think that men should provide, but then in the case that men can't provide, the woman can always.
Okay.
I think it's a better way to
Okay.
think.
Well-
that.
No, please.
I think it's a better way to think
You speak.
than.
You speak. You
So
speak.
and I believe that this way of thinking is actually superior to thinking that
Okay.
men must always provide.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Let Emeka go next. Emeka,
So-
1 minute, please.
This is my issue.
Mhm.
We can't say that I would put my money down in emergency. The person that has not learned how to spend his money normally won't spend it in emergency.
Yes.
Tree that we bend from small. You know the truth. No, it is the truth.
Yes.
You don't bend trees when they are big. You don't form habits at critical point. Nobody reads for an exam on the day of the exam. You learn how to write the exam before the exam. So coming to say
Poco will say you don't learn how to build out the rainy season.
on rainy season, you build out when the season is dry.
Yeah.
So I can't come and say that what is the assertion that when it's emergency I will bring out the money. And thinking like this is what I believe generates those stories I gave. How a woman makes more money, hides it from her partner. Don't see people that hide their money from partner, they are not aliens, they are human beings like us. So they learnt it from not understanding that it is partnership. And what partnership means is that everybody is putting the same amount of work and everything. So my resources, my knowledge, my time, everything, everybody's putting the same thing.
You're not holding back.
If I'm a co-founder to a company, if we're putting money to make the business prosper, I won't say so this person will put 500,000. I say I don't have 500,000, I'll put 300,000. No, if you have 500, you put it in. Everybody is trying to make the homework.
Yeah.
It's partnership at the end of the day. So I personally don't accept with those type of thinking.
No problem.
The man's money and the woman's money is for the family.
Yeah.
Everybody should bring to the
Yeah.
table.
I'll be
Joy, how about you?
Yeah. I actually agree to what you said. The man's money and the woman's money is for the family.
Yes.
But now, in a case where the woman is earning more than the man, we have to use the woman's money. We have to spend the woman's money because it's very unfair for us to say, okay, the woman's money is her money, while the man's money is his money. So if the man is not earning at all, or if the man is earning less, we have to spend just the man's money. It's just, I don't know, it's just not fair because you guys are married, you guys are one.
Yeah.
So my money is your money is my money. Do you understand?
Okay.
So it's just not fair.
Okay.
So I think you should be transparent enough in your marriage. There's nothing like hiding money or anything like that.
Okay, so I think it's actually inferior thinking to say that if you haven't spent your money before, aside the emergency, you won't be able to drop it.
Okay.
It's ridiculous because I know personally of loads of women who were housewives and their husbands fell to nothing. They started being the provider and they were giving everything that they were making. So that already negates that statement for me. Also, I said for me, how I want my household to be structured is this. My husband is the provider, amongst other things, financially. Do you understand? Now, in a case where I'm earning more, like I said, I'm a billionaire, he's a multi-millionaire, his money would be used generally. Do you understand? Does that mean that I'll be out with my children trying to buy some things and I can't access like our joint account or something like that? I won't use mine. I will in that case. Do you understand? In a case where he doesn't, like he is facing challenges or something like that, I will step in. I said these things.
Yeah.
I said it already. Now, I said a couple should have multiple accounts for private projects and personal projects. I also said, do not hide your money from your spouse. Let everybody know what is coming in. Do you understand? Discuss what you want to do with it and then keep it going. For me, my money is going to be for emergency to help my husband if there is any need for it. And that's it. It's very simple.
I actually wanted us to speak about, but we can't do that, of course. I wanted us to speak about empathy and vulnerability among genders, how vulnerable should men be and things like that. But I don't think we can do that today. So hopefully, I hope you're open to like a second. I really enjoy. I enjoy your point
well, it depends. I'll try to be.
Okay,
I'll try to be.
No problem. Okay, so I think that we have to come to the end of this. Thank you so much for your thoughts, Jega.
Subscribe, bro.
Please subscribe. Choma,
subscribe.
Peter.
Let me tell you, if you don't subscribe, I'll come to your dream.
All right, so guys, thank you so much for staying this long with us. Hope you really enjoyed yourself. I'll definitely try to reshoot this so we can discuss some other issues. Have a lovely day. Please subscribe, comment, share, like.
Bye.
Bye.